Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Million Dollar Body Podcast. This is episode 26. I'm your host, Coach Nate. You're streaming live in the Million Dollar Body group on Facebook. So if you're in here right now checking it out, I hope you enjoy. Today, I'm actually talking about a topic that's near and dear to my heart, myself. That's one reason you can tell that I'm a narcissist. So if you're new to this group or we haven't met before, or if you've never been on the podcast, I'm excited to dive in and talk about one of the things that I really believe that has been just very, very important to my success long term. And it comes from a place that maybe you've heard people talk about, but I would say this is one of the less glamorized aspects of success. And even to go as far as to say like, oh, I'm such a success right now feels pretty egotistical, and I would not go that far. But I will tell you that I'm on my way to success. I'm on my way to being extremely successful in a lot of areas, in my fitness, in my business, in relationships, my family. And the reason I know that I'm going to be successful is that I don't, when I've decided that something's important to me, I make it a point not to quit on that thing. So I'll tell you a story about when I was growing up, and I like many of us, and I'm just maybe this is only me. You can tell me, is this only me? I was pretty insecure as a kid. I really wanted to be accepted. I think this is all a me thing. So if you're listening to this and you're like, no, super confident growing up, had all the answers, I knew everything was going on, then like maybe this episode isn't for you. But basically, I wanted to be well liked. I wanted to be popular. I wanted to be one of the cool kids. I think a lot of people can resonate with that. And I'm also a highly competitive person. If you're familiar with the Enneagram at all, I'm a 3, or I choose to identify as a 3. Basically, I'm a hyper competitive, achievement oriented type of person. And so I'm not going to throw a fit if you beat me at something, but I am going to be pretty frustrated until I figure out how to go back and win at that thing, which makes games like RPGs or any type of like strategy game very awesome for me when I'm good at them, and very terrible for me when I'm bad at them. So, for example, when I was in 6th grade, um, I would go to youth group at church, and I played foosball. I love to play foosball. Still like my favorite bar game. But I sucked at it. I'd spin those things, just spin the shit out of them. Yeah, just getting that ball, throwing the goal. But I would get crushed by anyone else who had any modicum of skill. I was really bad at it. And so for a year, I told my dad that youth group started at 6:30 and went till 9, when it started at 7:30 and went till 9. And I would get there a full hour early to play foosball with anyone who was there, anyone in the building, or sometimes with no one else because no one was there. And I would just practice the shots by myself. And this is me in like when I was 13 or 14 years old, and I knew that I wanted to be good at foosball because for me, in my mind, foosball was the cool thing to do at the time. It required some skill, and I wanted to be better than everyone else at it. And so for a year, I would go an hour early and practice playing foosball. And there was this one guy I remember specifically. I don't remember his name, but he was the one who was always like, stop spinning. Don't spin the foosball things. You got to just hit it with like a quick wrist flick. And so I revamped my entire foosball style based on the recommendation of this kid. And to beat him was like the number one goal I had probably in life. I don't know. Grew up in Scottsdale, so that was probably my number one goal. So I remember practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing until one day, this guy who had beat me probably 50 times in a row, I ended up beating him 10-8. And after that, I was like, oh, okay, I'm good at foosball now. On to the next person. Who's the next challenger? Who's the next best person I know at foosball? So I didn't go and find a new skill or a new game. I actually just wanted to double down and be better than not just this one person who I kind of put on a pedestal, but everyone else in the building. I wanted to be the best at whatever it was. So in this case, it manifested as foosball. I'm not telling you that to brag about my incredible foosball abilities, because they are, I'll say, rusty right now. But if you haven't played in a while, I will still probably destroy you. But I want to now talk about several other aspects of my life where if you look at the results on paper, you would be like, man, you're a huge fuck up. You're a massive failure. Everything you do turns to shit. So when I was in Seattle, this is fast forward from the foosball times. Now we're in like 2014. And I decided to launch a business venture on the side, my first like solo business venture outside of training, kind of jumping into the online training world, okay? And this place was called Grab and Go Workout. Grabandgoworkout.com was the domain. Went on GoDaddy, I bought it. I don't know if you ever bought a website before, but once you do, people like the internet just like opens to you and there's like chorus of angels. It's majestic, it's beautiful. So none of that actually happened, but what I did instead is I sat down with a guy I met on Craigslist at a weird little coffee shop in Seattle, and he told me, yes, I will build you your website. And I was like, cool, you build a website, people are gonna buy stuff from the website because that's how the internet works. Everyone knows that. So Grab and Go Workout. It's really cool. I paid someone on Fiverr to design a logo for me. What they did is they showed a running person with a big arrow coming out of them that looked like a giant phallus. Very cool, very Fiverr. So that was my logo because I was like, good enough, put it up. So my idea with Grab and Go Workout was this. Tell me if you see any flaws in this. So my idea was, okay, so you show up at the gym and you're like, which workout should I do? And you're like, oh, I have no idea. And I was like, well, I'll just be like the iTunes store of workouts. So you go on there, 99 cents buys you a workout. You download the Word document to your phone, your tablet, your PC. I don't know if you're bringing your PC to the gym anymore or not, but you download it and then it's like, oh, you do that workout and then you move on to the next thing. Okay, but let's take it up to the next level. Well, now we're gonna have some programs. So you don't just buy one workout. You can buy one workout for 99 cents, or you can buy 5 workouts for $3.99. Sounds like a kind of a deal, right? So check this out. I built it out. Built this dope ass workout, or this not one workout. Built this website. Okay, it's got tabs across the top. It's got a shopping cart in it. I've got a guy who is doing a lot of this stuff for me, a web designer guy, and surprisingly enough, no one bought any of my workouts. I know this comes as a shock to many of you, considering how often you go on the internet and are like, hello, how can I pay 99 cents for a single workout? So I feel like that's probably something that we can all resonate with. But basically, I built it out, built out this website. I built out, I think 7 or 8 programs, full programs with like, 8 to 10 workouts on each one that would last you probably for about 6 to 8 weeks, going through these various stages, and no one bought them. I formatted them all on Word. I converted them to PDFs, just like brain stuff, and nobody bought shit. So I bought the website, I paid for the hosting, I paid for the phallic design on Fiverr, and then I paid some weirdo in Seattle to help me build this website. So I'm out like close to two grand after all is said and done, not to mention all the time I spent. And I make back approximately $0 because it's a terrible idea. It's dog shit. It's not, no one's going to do that. No one has ever been like, you know what I could go for is a Word document with a workout on it. And you know what the right price for me is? 99 cents. Because check this out, if you go on bodybuilding.com or YouTube or anywhere else on the internet and search for what's a workout I should do today, you can pull up any number of them. And if you're just looking for random shit workouts, you can find them. They're everywhere. You can find random workouts, especially now when everyone's favorite Instagram influencers, the people who are promoting like jeans and scarves 3 weeks ago, they're all now bodyweight home workout experts. So you can find workouts no matter where you go. So this was a huge, abject, debilitating failure on my part of time, energy, resources to put together Grab and Go Workout. So what do? I started a new one. I started a new project. Me and my buddy Kyle, we started a new project called Tyler Palmer Fitness Systems, because his last name's Tyler, my last name's Palmer. Do you get it? It's this, we add our names together, Tyler Palmer Fitness. And so what do? We just start pumping out content. I'm writing, Kyle's great at marketing, he's putting stuff on, he's got the internet stuff side of things going, I'm putting up articles, and at this point we're like, let's just build this great website where people can start buying coaching from us. So he's like, yes. I'm like, yes. We're like, yes. So That never happened. Never, no one ever bought coaching from us on that website. But I'll tell you what did happen is one time I used a picture of the lady who plays Kate from Lost, whatever her name is. I used a picture of her in a waterfall in one of our articles, and someone sued me. So that was really fun. I had to pay not only the royalty fee that I should have just paid in the beginning to use this picture, or not use the picture at all, but then I had to pay like some sort of fines and stuff like that. So not only did we try to again over the course of, this wasn't just like 1 week, we were putting up landing pages and splash pages and figuring out, like, we're writing articles. And so time, energy, again, we built a website out, Tyler Palmer Fitness Systems or something along those lines. We had logos, we had everything, and I lost $1,200 in a lawsuit because I used a bad picture off of Google search. So very expensive lesson to me there is don't use copyrighted images in your marketing materials. So you don't have to pay that kind of money to learn that lesson, because I'm just going to give it to you for free. There you have it. You're welcome. The other lesson there is that you probably don't have to pay those people. What they do is they actually just get online and they search the whole entire web for copyrighted images. And then, like a collections department, they go to the owner of the picture and say, hey, we found someone violating copyright laws. And they go, okay, see if you can get money from them. We'll give you some of it. So they come back and they're like, lawsuit happening, it's coming. And then they fire off a bunch of fancy legal documents, which when you're like in your 20s, just starting off the internet, pretty scary. So and this does not count as legal advice, because technically I'm a doctor, not a lawyer. So think about that. Okay, so grab and go workout. That sucked. Tyler Palmer Fitness System. That sucked. Let me tell you about my first day, or my first job as a trainer. So I was working at a place called Fitness Works. No longer exists, Phoenix, Arizona. And I roll in and I'm like, man, I have done so much. I've been reading about it. I know a lot of words about it. Have you guys ever heard of hypertrophy? It's very important. It's for muscles. And the guy was like, yeah, it's hypertrophy. But yeah, we'll let that slide. So I just think I'm like this awesome trainer because I've read so much and consumed so much information about training. So, but here comes the real world. I get his mom, like this mom of two, just kind of coming back to working out, just barely getting started again. And she's like, well, I just want to work on my legs and my abs and stuff like that. I'm like, legs, abs. Okay, think about that. It's going to be definitely squats. We're going to hit some deadlifts. We're going to do ab wheel rollouts. We're going to do toes to bar. We're going to do walking lunges. Then we're going to hit some step ups. Then we're going to superset deadlifts and squats. And then we're going to hit abs, legs, and abs. And so in this like 30, 45-minute session, I smoked this chick so much that she said she was literally in bed for the next 3 days because I had given her such a nasty case of delayed onset muscle soreness, or DOMS. So I rocked her world. And guess what? She never came back to train with me again. In fact, she complained to my manager, and my manager was like, okay, we'll find you another trainer. Don't worry about it. So shout out to Rick Wells. But so screwed that up big time. Tyler Palmer Fitness System screwed that up. Grab and Go Workout screwed that up. Let me tell you about Bot in a Box. Bot in a Box originally started as what I wanted to do was buy high quality fitness products and then sell them to, for like some residual income, like on the side of what I was doing for like fitness coaching. But what that turned into was people being like, well, I'd like to, like I like the one piece, the suspension trainer, but like what if some bands? And I was like, oh, you know what? You know what you should do is take them all, put them in a bag, and put them together. So we got sliders, we got like, what are all the best little things? And I can just put them in, I can just sell them on Amazon. Then Amazon was like, hold up, you can't sell those on Amazon. I was like, why not? They're like, TRX says you can't. Copyright issue with the quick release on your suspension trainer. And I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. Can I sell them on Amazon still? Because I didn't think about it. And they're like, no, you can't sell that here. It's like, shit. All right, what should I do? So like that was V1. Bot in a Box. It's like, what should I do? So then I switched it. So I was like, well, let's do coaching, and you get it, and you can just pay like a monthly residual. And like, so then it kind of ended up being like a monthly coaching program for people using the equipment. But what I found with that is that people who like Bot in a Box, who need Bot in a Box, are people who already have a fitness like system or practice in their life. They're already doing yoga. They're already going to the gym. They do not want to be relegated to a single piece of home workout equipment. So the people that this was best for, I was like, you should pay me monthly for this. And they were like, no, I have monthly stuff that I'm already doing. This is a supplement. And I was like, ugh. that was V2. And so V3 currently is just back to selling the remainder of the product, and then maybe we'll think about revamping that again in the future. By the way, I have 9 left out of the original several hundred I had ordered back in 2016, 17. So Bod in a Box, while not a failure, I still like the product. I still think it's really good and it serves people really well for home workout or for a bodyweight HIIT gym. It's not how I intended it to be, and it's changed 3 or 4 times in its short lifespan. So, and it'll change again if we continue to build it out and promote it and create more info around it. Let me talk about myself, personally speaking. So, like, right, I'm not. If you look at all those things, if you look at my path and those steps that I've gone to get here, that is the path of an abject failure. That's someone who doesn't know what they're doing. That's someone who screws up more often than not. Okay, back to me. Let's talk about me again. Enough about me. Let's talk about me more. I graduated from high school. I'm 6'4". I'm 6'4". And again, going back to the whole wanting to be well liked, wanting to be cool, wanting people to like me, specifically the girl kind of people, really wanted them to like me in high school. Didn't have to worry about that though, no problems. So I graduated at high school at 6'4", 155 pounds. And I remember a couple times like having, trying to like make jokes about things, but then someone saying something that was a little too close to home. I remember someone saying, "You have really skinny arms," and someone poking me in the stomach and being like, "Wow, it's so soft." And like, these are things that kids in high school say, right? This is not a big deal. The person who said that has no idea they said that. They just said it and they forgot about it the next day. Meanwhile, I'm like, wow, that's a permanent scar on my psyche. I'll carry that around for 10 years. Well, I try to overcompensate it with excessive amounts of exercise to make myself feel better. So one of my big goals was always, I want to gain more weight. I want to have more muscle. I don't want anyone to be able to tell me that I'm too skinny anymore. I don't want that. I like that label to me is hurts my feelings, and I don't like the way it makes me feel. So I want to change myself to be able to transcend that label, to be able to be someone that people look to and be like, wow, he's so strong, buff, big, jacked, whatever the word you think of when you think of Arnold Schwarzenegger or The Rock or He-Man, those are the adjectives, the monikers that I want to apply to Nate Palmer. So like during high school, my junior year of high school was when I first started lifting when I was 16. And I've told this story a few times before, but I would train arms on Monday, and then I would train chest, back, and arms on Tuesday, and I would Wednesday was cardio, so I'd walk around the track. I didn't want to go too much. I want to lose my gains. Thursday we would do biceps and chest, and then Friday we would do arms and abs. So my workout program was hot garbage and not effective at all, surprisingly enough. You might be surprised about that. But yeah, still, I didn't gain any weight in high school, graduated again at the exact same weight I started my junior year at 155. So 155 and 6'4" is extremely skinny. And over the next, let's see, graduate high school, next 15 years, I've been lifting about 17 years now. The next 15 years, I managed to gain about 80 pounds. Okay, I'm about 235 right now. And while that's like, oh wow, that's a lot of weight over that, like over time, it's still not that much weight when you consider how fast many people can gain weight, or how quickly many people can go from point A, the body they have, to point B, the body they want. So if we're talking about like long term, like this is a 17-year goal that I'm like almost getting into. Obviously my goals and stuff have changed since as life changes and life goes on, and I address many of the inner demons that have tormented me for years. But thinking about how, like, what kind of failures have gone into each step of that process, because to gain 80 pounds in 15 years is not hard. It's not hard. I mean, look at a lot of people who gain weight easily, or gain muscle easily, or who never needed to gain more weight to have the body that they wanted. So just there's been so many shortcomings, so many failures, so many missed opportunities, so much like room for growth and learning over those 15 years, that if I had been able to go back and talk to myself at that age, I could have easily taken that and shortcut it by 12 years. I could have easily gotten those results in 3 years, if not less, if not 2.5. But all I needed was 3 years to do that work. So why did it take me so long? It's because I screwed up so much. I did too much weight. I hurt myself, too much volume, too much intensity, not enough food, too much cardio, hurt myself again, the wrong kinds of training, the wrong times, the wrong focuses, the wrong lifts, the wrong everything. I've done everything wrong for so long to get me to this point where I can look back and be like, wow, what an insane journey that was for me to have just now kind of gotten to the place where, I mean, looking back now, like 16-year-old me would have really wanted to be. Looking back and being like, that's like everything that I am now is exactly what this is. Not maybe not, this is maybe a failure as well, but 16-year-old me would look at me and be like, wow, that's what I want. That's really cool. I mean, I have earrings, I have a man bun, I've got tattoos. Like every 16-year-old in the 90s wants to look like me. It's cool. Don't worry about it. But the reason I tell you this isn't to brag and be like, hey, I'm so great. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. It's like I'm so stupid and I screwed up all the time. Yet I've screwed up so much, yet I did not stop. I did not stop because the one thing that I know for a fact, and this is especially true when it comes to your physical appearance, your body, your health, is that it's not about the destination. And it's so cliche to say that. I hate myself for saying that just a little bit. Threw up in my mouth. I have a little bit of reflux from just that. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. But it seriously is. It's about, like, you will not lose. You cannot fail. You will not succeed if you only keep going. It's obvious, right? But this is something that applies so much to your physical body, your physical health. If you do not succeed today, this week, this month, this year, if you just don't stop, you are guaranteed success. I will guarantee you success. I will guarantee it. If you don't stop, if you never quit, if you don't give up, if you don't take the 2 months off from your workout because you just weren't motivated, because we all know that's bullshit. But if you don't give up, if you just keep trying, keep tweaking, and keep going back to it and going back to it and going back to it and going back to it, you cannot fail, especially in regards to your health. You can't. And okay, obviously, I don't want this to take 15 years for you. I don't think you have that kind of time. I don't think you have that the ability to not get results for 10 years like me and still keep going. So find someone who's done what you want to do and help and go to them and help them, or use them to shortcut the process for you. Like I said, I could go back to 16-year-old Nate and I could have him get the results that he wanted in 2 years, 2 to 3 years. Not 15, not 18, not 17, 2 to 3 years. It wouldn't be that hard at all. I can take someone who's an absolute, I wouldn't say absolute beginner, but someone who's out of shape, has not trained in 2 or 3 years, and I can bring them up to my level of strength or pretty close to it in like 6 months. Easily. Is because we don't spend all of our time dicking around. We don't spend all of our time trying out the newest cool exercise routine that I just heard about on a super sweet podcast. I made a video the other day talking about the person who searched out the shiny object syndrome is always bouncing from routine to routine, looking for the next best thing, that one thing that's finally going to get them results. That's me. That's 100% me. I'm making fun of myself there. I'm always the idiot who's like, actually, did you see the new workout that you just do it when you're sleeping and it always works for gaining abs? So do you think about that? That's 100% me. I'm that dumb. Okay. So if you're like, man, that's actually talking to me, don't worry. We're in the same boat. I don't know what kind of a boat it is or why we're in there together, but we are. It's you and me in there together. So all that to say, if you have goals, if you want to look a certain way, if you want to feel a certain way, if you need more energy, if you want to be a better parent, have better relationships, if you just don't quit, you're going to get there. You're going to do it. If you just continue to do just a little better every day, just turn that knob just a little tiny bit, just crank that screw just a little bit. You don't have to go all the way. Just do a little bit every day and you're going to get there 100% of the time. And if you want better results, shortcut the process by hiring a coach. I wanted better results in my business than what I was seeing doing it on my own by myself, because obviously I don't have good taste in logos. There's no question. So I outsource that stuff. I get I have a business coach that helps me with everything because left to my own devices, I make poor choices. I leave things undone. I half-ass stuff. I go the cheap route rather than the buy once, cry once route. So I ponied up a lot of money to be able to work with a business coach at a very high level because he helps me do it better, do it right, take away that 10-year process. I would have gotten there. I know I want to be successful because I know I want it. I'm going to keep going until I get it. There's no question for me. But I don't want to do it in the next 20 years. I want to do it in the next 2 to 3 years. So I hired somebody. So 2 lessons from me. If you take 2 lessons from me, it's number 1, don't take pictures of Kate from Lost and put them up on your website. You don't need to do that. There are a lot of other celebrities that you can pull off of free websites. Totally fine. Number 2, if you don't quit, you can't lose. If you don't quit, you can't lose. At the end of the day, like, that's one of the most important things you can keep in mind, no matter what you're doing, whether it's business, whether it's fitness, whether it's family. If you don't quit, you cannot lose. Nelson Mandela is widely credited as saying, for me, I can't lose. I either win or I learn. And if you take that attitude, you're an unstoppable force. You might not be very fast. This guy, not fast. But I know I'm not stopped. I can't be stopped. Just like when I'm playing foosball, I knew that if I just kept going back to it and trying again and trying again and trying again, eventually all those haters could eat my ass because I was going to crush their souls at foosball. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm okay. Okay. If you're concerned about me and my heart rate right now, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. So if you don't quit, you can't lose. And if you want faster results, shortcut the process by having someone who's already been there, who's already made the mistakes, or has learned from someone else's mistakes. Have them help you get the results you want, whether it's a marriage counselor, a business coach, a trainer, whatever that looks like for you. Just remember there's someone out there who's done it probably better than you, and that person is probably willing to talk you through it if you are willing to pay the price, whether that's a time price, whether it's a financial price, or whether that's just shedding tears and putting them in little vials and shipping them off to Canada, which is what I have to do for my coach. If you pay the price, you're going to succeed. So hopefully that's been helpful for you. Hopefully this is something that was at least entertaining, hearing about all the times I've screwed up. Let me know if you want to see that actual phallic logo from Grab and Go Workout, because I'm going to be reposting it later. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the $1 Million Body Podcast. If you like this episode, make sure to like us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, or anywhere else that you listen to podcasts. And if you want more information about how you can shortcut that process, then go to n8trainingsystems.com/call, n8trainingsystems.com/call, and we can talk a little bit more about what it would take for you to shortcut the process of your health right now and get those results a lot faster than doing it on your own. Even if you are the kind of person who is not going to quit, let's get those results faster, because there's probably another area of genius that you have that you don't want to necessarily spend the next 10 years researching the best methods for squats, deadlifts, and abs, so you don't end up on the couch for 3 days. So hope you guys are having a great day. Stay safe out there. This is Coach Nate. Have an awesome week.